Hey everybody, I'm Rosa.
And I'm Trey.
And welcome to the High Path channel. Today we're going to do a video on what Trey eats in a day while he is still healing from an autoimmune condition. We recently did a video where we talked all about his journey, all about his health journey, his healing, his autoimmune condition. We provided a ton of resources and books and things like that. And we've answered a lot of your questions. And this was a very highly requested topic, which was what he eats in a day. So here we are making this video.
Your fingers.
Okay, ready?
No.
Okay, ready?
You better not recorded that.
I already did. Sounds good.
You better not.
I am going to.
No, that's not cute.
That is cute. A forewarning, excuse the background noise because we're pressure cooking for our mushroom grill.
Yeah, so sorry. Got to sterilize everything, make sure everything is copacetic before inoculating stuff. So right now I'm dealing with dysautonomia, and it's basically my autonomic nervous system is out of whack, to put it in short term. Anything that's automatic, blinking, sneezing, breathing, heart rhythm, digestion, your sleep cycles, I mean, anything that is automatic that you just don't think about. A lot of those things were very broken for me. Now things are a lot more balanced out. I still deal with a little bit of issues here and there, but for the most part, I'm pretty stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
Yeah, I mean, like everything, like I can go out again. Yeah.
At first, we weren't able to go out.
Yeah.
Even for us, we weren't able to bring things in from the public. We explained all of this in our previous videos, so if you really want the details on what happened and what treatment he's on, check out the video. We highly suggest it. Even if you are not dealing with the same thing and you just need some information, we also go through a ton of resources and books that Trey has read. So check out that video. It's a great video.
So breakfast, I typically have fruits. The reason for fruits is because the body is just waking up in the morning. Your digestive system isn't really going. There's still some parts of your body that are still waking up when you first wake up. So I typically don't have breakfast until about like 9 or 10ish for the most part, because I don't like to eat right when I wake up, because like I said, the body is still waking up. I eat my fruits because they're very easy to digest. They're easy on the digestive system. They absorb really fast. They digest really fast. Right now, I typically eat a lot of apples. And the reason I eat a lot of apples is because they are high in malic acid. And malic acid is good for detoxing the liver. But really, any fruits would do as long as you keep within the food combinations. I used to eat a lot of berries, specifically blackberries, blueberries, but really any berries, anything from the berry kingdom. The reason for berries is because they're really good for the nervous system. However, our berries that we get, because mostly everything is brought in, it's hard to get like locally grown fresh berries out here. A lot of them tend to be high in mold, so I kind of stray away from those just because mold toxicity is a thing, and it can really mess with your immune system. And considering I'm fighting immune issues, that it just doesn't go really well. But really, any fruits are good in the morning. Probably better to stay away from the starchy fruits like bananas. But even bananas are good, really. Just really any fruit in the morning, it's good on the digestive system.
This morning we're sticking to our favorite apple, which is the Honey Crisp apple. They have the most delicious apple-y taste. I usually like to slice it with an apple slicer, and get a little bit of apple juice splash. And then I usually serve 2 apples for Trey every single day for breakfast. So it is lunchtime. Now, just letting you know, Trey does follow the food combinations very strictly. So just a little quick overview. Vegetables are your middlemen and they go with everything. So you can do vegetables with proteins, any proteins. You could do it with like hemp, chickpeas, beans. Those are your main proteins. And then vegetables.
But really any protein, like, even if you still dabble around with animal products,
Yeah.
you can eat vegetables with any protein, any dairy, actually.
Huh.
Also, yeah.
And then vegetables can also go with carbs. So potatoes, your rice,
Any carbohydrate.
any carbs.
Any carbohydrate.
However, the only 2 that do not mix is proteins and carbs.
Right.
They just don't mix. I will have a chart for you just so that you can kind of reference. Fruits are alone.
Some citrus like limes and lemons cross all boundaries. So limes and lemons can go with fruits, proteins, vegetables, carbs.
So that's just a general rule that we follow for Trey's everyday diet.
Yeah, and I follow the food combination very strictly. I don't ever go outside of it. They still do. I wish that they would follow a little bit more strictly, but their health's a lot more stable than mine is, and yeah, they got stomachs of iron. So.
Now let's talk about lunch. Lunch is usually a big, gigantic salad. What do you eat, babe?
Yeah, so lunch is a salad, pretty much any vegetable and 1 protein. I sometimes have 2 proteins, sometimes I'll have chickpeas and hemp, but for the most part, it's just 1 protein, load of vegetables, just load it up. Any type of vegetable, any type of herb, and definitely lime on there. The reason for the lime, why I like the lime so much, and lemons as well, but more the limes, is because limes are truly alkalizing, and they also help digest food. So the acidity in the lime helps to break down the food, specifically the proteins. Yeah, it just makes digestion a lot easier on the stomach and allows you to unlock all those benefits.
We are in the middle of making lunch. I am going to show you how we make Trey's most favorite lunch. He eats this almost every single day. We do change it up every now and then, but the majority of the time, this is what he eats every single day. Let's start with the sauce first. So this is kind of like the star of the show because it really just tastes good on everything. So this is going to be our cilantro and hemp dressing. We have 2/3 a cup of hemp seeds. We also have a handful of 2/3 and a half of hemp seeds. We have some cilantro. We've got some lime coming in, some salt. You can season it with like some chili peppers as well, some hemp oil, and we're gonna blend it up with a little bit of water. Now the hemp seeds really add additional amino acids, additional protein. It's just a very, very great source of protein. In the salads, sometimes it's just that for the protein for the day because all the vegetables combined really does have a lot of amino acids in it. So for those of you who are wondering, where are we going to get our protein from? Well, vegetables have amino acids. It is basically like the building blocks of protein. We have our protein here and we have amino acids in our vegetables. I like getting Grace involved in the sauce making because she is our saucier right now. She makes the sauce perfect always. She knows exactly how Trey likes it. She loves to help out. We added our hemp seeds, some lime juice. We add some chili flakes, a little bit of hemp oil, and some water. Oh, and any herbs we may have like cilantro or parsley. We're gonna salt it, blend it up, and taste until it is good. What do you like to put on your vegetables? Or your salad?
The salad, it's really anything, but I do like some specific things. Beets. I like beets because beets help transport fat. So beets are really good for the liver as well. I also eat a lot of broccoli, and my wife, she chops it first. Typically lets it sit. She doesn't really know what's happening right here, but when you chop your broccoli and let it sit for a while, it actually unlocks the enzyme glutathione, and glutathione is actually good for helping to boost the immune system.
Let's chop up some broccoli and cauliflower and also some beets. We're going to cut them into slices, the beets, and then we're just going to season it with oregano, onion powder, paprika, salt, and grapeseed oil. Massage it really quick, and then we're going to just roast it in the oven. Our vegetables are prepped. This is going into the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit on convection. Convection is usually faster. It kind of rotates the air a little bit more, making the roast a lot faster. If you don't have it, just go 450 maybe for about 25 minutes or so. But just keep an eye out for your vegetables. You don't want it to burn, and I don't want you to blame me for all of your burnt vegetables. I'm gonna put this in the oven, and we're gonna set a timer for about 25 minutes.
I would eat a lot more broccoli sprouts because those are really high in glutathione. But yeah, I typically just stick with broccoli because we're not doing sprouts right now. The hemp is specifically for the amino acids. So the amino acid profile inside of hemp seeds are really good. So that's where I get a lot of my amino acids from. That's really the main three stars that I like inside of my salad, just to make sure I'm hitting those 3 points. Really from there, it doesn't really matter what goes into it.
The vegetables are going onto a bed of romaine lettuce. We're just going to chop it up nice and give it a quick wash. And we're just going to put everything onto our salad. Along with some red sliced onions, we have all of our roasted vegetables and the sauce, of course. Give it a good mix, and that is it for Trey's salad. Trey does not get tired of the salad. This is one of his favorites. He can eat it literally every single day. It is actually very, very good. What are your favorite things to eat for dinner? Because there's really two things that we always go to. One which we'll be showing you in the video, and one is like we eat that pretty much every day as well. Yeah. So what do you like to eat for dinner?
My one favorite, I'm pretty sure everybody that's been watching knows, is potatoes. I love potatoes.
Red potatoes specifically.
Red potatoes specifically.
It has to be the waxy red potato.
Right, yeah. So it's the rose red potatoes specifically. They're waxy, they're really good. They're one of the potatoes that still hasn't been hybridized. So I don't know if you know, a lot of our foods have all been hybridized or GMO'd or crossed in some way to make a more pleasurable fruit or vegetable for us. And not that there's anything wrong with hybridization or crossbreeding and all that. It happens in nature, and sometimes we even do it to make better genetics, and there's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes, because we don't know everything that we're doing, and we don't get to see the results of what we're doing for a long time, and some things just shouldn't be crossed together. I believe a lot of reasons that a lot of people are having a lot of gluten issues and like all these allergies, it's just because of all the hybridization that's going on. It's almost too much. So I just try to keep things like in its most holistic state as possible. That's why we eat like spelt and einkorn wheat around here, because it's an ancient grain. It hasn't been hybridized. It's still in its original form, the original form of wheat. Same thing with the rose red potatoes and things like that. And not that like everything that I eat is like non-hybridized. I try to do what I can. Everything with balance. So the reason for the rose red potatoes, that's one of the reasons for it. They're just good.
They are really good.
They're just really good.
When you roast them, and Trey loves this crispy potatoes. I've mentioned it many times, but that is his absolute favorite. whenever we make roasted potatoes, we will also make a side of roasted vegetables,
Right.
which is also broccoli and cauliflower. I would throw that in there as well.
Right. Yeah. So potatoes are loaded with minerals. It's a, it's a tuber. So yeah, it's like essentially like the root of the plant, and that's where everything gets stored up at. So yeah, it's just really high in minerals. They're really good. I actually learned about eating potatoes from Dr. Max Gerson in his book. In one of the soups that you were supposed to eat every single day. You're supposed to make the soup every single day, or make a stock of it and have it loaded up in your refrigerator. You could eat it any time of the day. Potatoes were one of the items that were highly recommended to put inside of there, and that's just because they're loaded with minerals. And it's always good to have them baked, um,
Or in a soup.
or in a soup. Yeah,
And that's why we also make soups for dinner as well, because
Yeah.
all of the nutrients from the vegetables and everything just gets slow cooked. And the longer you cook it, the better.
Right.
It releases all in there. Now I decided today I'm going to work on dinner a little bit sooner. So sometimes I like to prep dinner while I am making lunch. So that way it's all done and ready to go. And if I'm making a soup, it takes a lot longer, and the slower that you cook it, the better it gets. So today we're going to be making soup. Now Trey, for dinner, we've been doing a lot of roasted vegetables and potatoes. That's one of his favorites. We also have a little crispy potato video that we've made. Oh, it is so good. That's his favorite way of eating potatoes. So I'm going to link that video in the description so you can check it out, how to make our crispy potatoes. But yeah, most of the time we do roasted vegetables. We do like roasted broccoli and cauliflower, and just red potatoes, organic red potatoes and onions for dinner. Today I'm going to do a soup, so I'm going to get started right now. We're going to start off with a good base, which is onions, celery, and carrots. This in French cooking is referred to mirepoix. It really goes into any soup or stock. It's so good. You just chop these up, saute them in any oil that you like, add some salt. We also like to spice it up a little bit for Trey's soup, so we just added some crushed red peppers. Now, as far as soup goes, I find that no matter really what vegetables you put into a soup, it always really just tastes great anyway. You just want to make sure you have a good base, which is onions, carrots, and celery, and then you put any vegetable, and it's actually really good. Season it up and have a meal. Today in our soup, we're adding some red potatoes and some broccoli. I'm also going to add some parsley root, which we're going to tell you why in a little bit, and just season up whatever that you like. One thing that I wanted to mention is we put mushroom powder in your soups as well. Why is that?
Right. Yeah. So we do put reishi, lion's mane, and turkey tail into my soup, and it's in powder form. And so the reason for that is because reishi is like kind of a full body, synergizing type of mushroom. It really hits every single point, from like mood to stress, immune system. It helps with the liver. I mean, it's really like they call it. It's like the queen of mush. So chaga would be the king. Reishi would be the queen. Turkey tail is really good for the immune system. So that's why I use turkey tail. It has the highest level of beta glucans, which is a polysaccharide that's inside of the mushroom cell wall. Lion's mane is really good just for brain. It's good for digestion as well. Yeah, so that's the reason for the three of those. The reason for it going into the soup opposed to just eating them in capsule form is because our body doesn't have the enzymes to break down the chitin, potato. Chitin that's in I think it's chitin. Chitin. Chitin is essentially the same exact it's the exoskeleton insect skin. It's really, really super hard, very hard to break down. It's the same thing that the exoskeleton for crabs, lobsters. In order to break down the chitin, it needs to be cooked for a really long time. Soups are the best to eat it with. Teas as well, but just whole powder, just eating the powder, you're not really gonna get those beta glucans that you are looking for out of the mushrooms because they're locked up in that chitin. So that's the reason for putting the mushrooms in the soup and cooking it into the soup.
One more thing that we put in is parsley root.
Right. Parsley roots are really good for the kidneys, to help just really get the kidneys flowing, flushing out toxins. And so, yeah, parsley root is really good. You can use the parsley leaf as well. Parsley leaf is also good, but the most potent portion of it is the parsley root. Yeah.
And all that gets cooked down into a soup. Whenever we make soup, I just put those 4 ingredients, some secret ingredients in, and then we cook it until it's ready for dinner. Like probably like, normally I like to start a soup at lunchtime, so then it cooks down all the way until 5, 6 o'clock. So it's about 4 or 5 hours. I cover the soup and simmer it as long as possible. Make sure that we're watching water levels. A few hours later, I'm going to use a hand masher to just mash up some of these pieces of potato, just so that we don't get big pieces of potato in there. Mashing the potatoes also gives the soup a really thick consistency, which is also very nice. Time to serve up. This is what Trey is having for dinner. I know it's hot in the summertime, but trust me, it's still so good for your body, and it's good to sweat when you eat this hot soup also.
Yeah, and the longer you can cook it, the better. The mushrooms you can't cook for too long. It's even recommended in one of the books that I'm reading right now that you could even pressure cook it. That's how strong that chitin is, where you really need to unlock those beta glucans that are in there to really get the benefits from them. The reason for eating soups at night is because, well, let's kind of go back to the salad. So for lunchtime, it is the largest meal that you want to eat. So for lunchtime, load it up. I mean, don't stuff yourself. Just try to remember the 80-90 rule. Fill yourself 80 to 90%. Leave some room for digestion. But for lunchtime, eat. Eat like a king. Eat like a queen. Make sure that you eat all that you can for lunchtime. Your breakfast and dinner should be your smallest meals. Reason being is, like I said, breakfast, you're just waking up. You don't want to overload your stomach. Lunchtime, you're up, you're going, you need all those amino acids, you need your body to start building proteins, you need all your nutrients, all your minerals, everything. Get all that in for lunch. Dinner time comes, you want another light meal, something that's going to be easy on the stomach, something that's going to break down easy, and that's going to allow you to rest and sleep well through the night. And you don't want to eat late either. Reason being is if you eat late, then your body is going to be digesting late, which is also going to mess with your sleep. Typically, you want about a 4-hour window after you eat and when you're going to bed. So if you're going to bed 8, 9 o'clock, you want to be eating about 4, 5 o'clock. Really, you want to make sure that your dinner is light, and so that's why I eat a soup at night, just because it's easy to digest. The soup, it really doesn't matter what's inside of there. Any type of soup, I always include those. Really, there's 4, but you want to call it 2 special ingredients, which is the parsley and the mushrooms inside of the soup. But outside of that, I mean, really, it's just have at it. Have yourself a nice soup, cold, warm.
Trey really isn't he does snack if we make quinoa crackers, which we haven't made in a while.
Right.
And for dessert, every once in a while I will make him like a baked apple or something like that, just to keep it nice and easy and it's just fruits.
Yeah, so I haven't had the quinoa crackers in a while because they're so good. I mean, those things are they're really, really good. But the problem is they go outside of the food combination, and I was noticing a lot of digestive, not issues, but just a lot of like bloat and gas, and I don't really like to deal with all that. So
we just kind of
just kind of stop. But man, they're so good.
And I know you used to have like a kind of a sweet tooth.
Yeah, I did.
Now you don't.
No, I used to have really big sweet tooth. I mean, I could eat spoonfuls of honey and just go at it.
When he was a kid, he would eat a whole box of cereal and just a normal American kid.
Just a normal American kid, right? Yeah, lots of sugar.
Now he doesn't really think about it or like crave it or ask for a sweet. He would hint every once in a while, So I make on special occasions I would make some baked apples.
Just everybody's like during the feast days, everybody we're feasting and they're having all their stuff. So yeah, she makes me a little like baked apple or baked pear combo. Yeah, I mean that's about it. I don't really snack. Every now and then, if I'm like really hungry during lunchtime, I'll have my lunch and then I'll want food afterwards. It's not that I'm looking for a snack, it's more or less like I'm still hungry, like I didn't get enough.
I made too little.
Yeah. And so typically, honestly, what I'll do is I'll just go grab like a cup of hemp seeds.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you eating?
Like literally, I'll just go grab a couple of hemp seeds and just pound a couple.
Does it help?
It does.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it
we're gonna have some mushroom jerky.
Right. Yeah. So soon I'll be eating mushrooms on all my salads.
We're working on something.
I'll be having mushrooms in all of my soups, and then we'll also have mushroom jerky
where snacky snack.
Yeah, I can snack on.
So excited. We've been loving our mushrooms.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little video coming soon on our mushrooms because we just had to share. It was just too good not to share. So stick around and we'll show you very soon. That's it, everybody. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's what Trey, my husband, eats every single day pretty much.
Every single day.
On an autoimmune condition.
Now, I wouldn't say every single day. Sometimes we do go outside of the schedule.
It's like 90%, babe.
Yeah, it's like 90 to 95% of the time. But sometimes, she'll make like instead of a hemp dressing, she'll make a chickpea.
Yeah.
Like a hummus type dressing, or like today,
a braised cabbage with that chickpea sauce.
Right.
Yeah. On the weekends, sometimes I try to just switch things up. I don't want him to get bored.
Right, but I don't get bored.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I can literally eat that every single day. Fruits. I love my apples. I absolutely love my apples more than just like what they're good for. I love a good, crisp, semi-sweet, kind of sour apple, kind of cold and crisp. Oh. There's nothing like a good apple, but really all the fruits, all the stone fruits. Love my peaches, pears. Really love my pears. All those red pears.
Yep.
Delicious. Nectarines. Yeah.
But then you also like your figs, your papayas, watermelons.
Yeah, man, my watermelons. But so I wish I could eat more watermelon. I can't right now. It just doesn't do well. They're still not digesting properly. So I kind of limit those. Grapes. Oh yeah.
Seeded.
Yeah, seeded grapes. There's this guy in Vegas that sells some big old huge. I mean, I swear they're probably about this big. at least grapes, seeded grapes,
very good.
organic from California. Oh, some
Very
of the
good.
best grapes that I've ever eaten.
Yep.
Yeah.
We would love to know in the comments if you are dealing with an autoimmune condition or if you have any questions. We will be down there answering all of your comments as always.
Bye.
No! Thank you so much. Go.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. It's like down here. These things.
All the buttons. Just hit all the buttons.
Yeah, just click them all. Turn them on and off. I want to see it flashing.
We'll see you on the next video. We hope you love. Bye.